Welcome, everyone. This is Keith Sutton with Arkansas Farm Bureau. It's that time of week when I always have a visit with Brandy Carroll, Farm Bureau's Director of Commodity Activities and Market Information, and we get an update on the market and some other things going on. Welcome again, Miss Brandy.
Good morning, Keith. Thank you for having me once again.
You bet. We like doing these market updates, and today we're going to talk a little bit again about the second round of coronavirus food assistance program. And you've got some things that our listeners need to know about that.
That's right. Well, we've come around in our rotation to soybeans and corn one more time. And we've not yet talked on this podcast about coronavirus food assistance for those two commodities. Right. They're both considered or included in the program as price trigger commodities. And that means that you have a choice. You can opt for the greater of two different options for payments under the program. One is eligible acres are multiplied by a payment rate of $15 an acre. The other is a little more complicated. You take your eligible acres and you multiply that by the nationwide marketing percentage, then by the payment rate, and then by your APH yield. So the nationwide marketing percentage for corn is 40%, and the payment rate is 58 cents a bushel. And for soybeans, the marketing percentage is 54%, and the payment rate again is 58 cents a bushel, just like corn. You must sign up by December 11th, 2020, and you can do that at FSA. And for all the details on the program, we've mentioned it before, but you can go to farmers.gov, that's the USDA homepage, and you can find all the details there.
So just once more, everybody, you've got until December 11th to visit your Farm Service Agency office and get signed up for the second round of this. So we also every week talk a little bit about the markets, Brandy, and you've got some things to share there as well.
That's right. On Thursday, USDA released the quarterly grain stocks report. Old crop soybeans in all positions totaled 523 million bushels, and that's down 42% from September 1st, 2019. So a huge drop, and certainly a positive for the market. We are in the middle of harvest, harvest pressure in full swing. Will likely keep a lid on prices to a certain extent. If we look at the price chart, it looks like the November contract last Wednesday posted a huge one-day gain, but follow through strength has been somewhat limited, and so that high of 10.46 3/4 could be tough resistance and could be a top for the time being during harvest.
And then let's talk a little bit about the corn markets.
Sure. That same quarterly grain stocks report held really good news for corn too. Corn stored in all positions on September 1st was 2 billion bushels, which sounds like a lot, down 10% from the previous year. So I always like to see that down year to year. And in reaction to that report, December futures moved to new 7-month highs. We saw big gains at the end of last week. Again, though, with harvest really kicking off, the upside could be limited as traders really try to get a handle on how big this crop really is. Corn is still expected to set a record yield after all, and so we're still looking at that as a possibility. And so the high from last week of 385 1/4, if we don't take that out in short order, that could start to become resistance for a little while.
So we'll come back again next week with a new report. Do you have any idea what markets we'll be looking at then?
Next week we'll be looking at livestock again.
Okay.
And I would like to take this opportunity. I've never done this on the podcast, but take this opportunity to plug our website, arfb.com. There is a market information page that has lots of cash prices, futures prices, charts. The charts that you see in the podcast are from our website, as well as much more detailed commentary than what we would provide here. So check that out. We have lots of information out there for our members.
We definitely do. ArFB.com, folks. And we'll be back next week with a new report with Miss Brandy. Thank you again, Brandy, for your assistance.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.